gearbox here in our WRX, but these instructions are applicable across the board. So as part of the clutch job, what we're doing is we're going to replace the pilot bearing, and the pilot bearing is stuck into the back of the engine. And there are a variety of tools, but we decided to go with a homemade method. So you may be wondering why there's a piece of bread here and a wooden dowel, but there is a method to this madness. So what we did to start out is we took our clutch install tool to measure the inside diameter of the pilot bearing, and then went to Lowe's and found a wooden dowel that had a diameter that matched. And this is important because what we're actually going to be doing here today is we're going to go under the car, we're going to take this bread, stuff it into the middle of the pilot bearing, and then we're going to use the wooden dowel to beat it in and put pressure on it, and hopefully that pressure will push the bearing out, and that'll prevent us from having to buy or rent tools that have to use a slide hammer and hopefully get the bearing out so we can put the new one in. So let's slide under the car and we'll give it a try. So we're under the car now. I have the wooden dowel, and up here you can see the pilot bearing. So we're just going to do a test fit. Make sure it slides in pretty snugly, but of course we don't want it to jam up. So this is a good fit. We also have our hammer and we have some bread. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna take the inside of the bread and we're gonna start to ball it up and then slowly stuff it into the hole. So right here, I'm just balling up this bread, and we're gonna take a little bit and I'm stuffing it in the hole. So at first, it should be fairly easy just to lump in as much as you can. But as it starts filling up, we'll get ready to pull out our dowel and then start tapping it in. So you can see here, I'm getting a lot of it by hand before we even do anything. So that's pretty helpful. And it looks like I'm getting some resistance now. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna line up the dowel with the center of the hole, and we wanna make sure that we're not hitting the bearing, but we're just tapping onto the mound of bread, and we'll just start tapping it in. And you can see there's a little residue, but most of it went in. So we'll just keep mushing up some more. And just like before, we'll continue to tap it in. Now that we've tapped it a few times, you can actually see here that it's starting to bulge out. So we're just going to continue filling it. And what it's doing here is the process back there is just pushing from the back of the bearing. So we'll give it, fiddle up some more and give it a few more taps. All right, so as you can see here, the pressure from the bread actually just pushed the bearing out. And all we're gonna do here is we're gonna slide it down our dowel, and then we're gonna pop out the bread from inside. And because we've compressed it so much, it actually comes out in a fairly nice chunk here, and the rest we'll just clean out with the screwdriver. So most of it came out with the dowel, and the rest is compressed, so it should come out in fairly big chunks with just the screwdriver. And there's most of it. As you can see, pretty much all of it's come out. There's a little in there. We'll just spray some brake cleaner and run a microfiber towel around inside there before we put our new one in. But this is an easy method you can do at home without renting any special tools, and it doesn't take more than 6 or 7 minutes to get it pulled out.